Ohio. Postavy, the city in Belarus, the administrative center of Postavsky district of the Vitebsk region. On the place of modern Postav there was a settlement of Posadnik, from a word a Posadnik or from the posted earlier. Postavy's name comes from the term of posts, the building, construction, the building, the mill device, a sawing camp, etc. Or from a word having become, a pond, a dam. The city located on Stava. Adamkovich considers that the name Postav has Baltsky origin and corresponds to names of lakes of East Lithuania that directly border on Postavsk the area. Pastovas, Pastavs, Pastavelis. Names of lakes come from the Lithuanian word Pastovas, the deep place in the river where water slowly flows, and still water which doesn't flow. In large wholesale trade the cloth and other, arrived in the form of big cuts, postav, which length at different times and in different places fluctuated from 30 to 60 elbows. In places of trade these measures had concrete value. It is located on the Myadalka River, the basin of the Western Dvina. In 245 came from Vitebsk, 160 came from Minsk. Nature sanctuaries of the Republican importance. Mountains Beacon, Boyarovchina, Bald. Boulders Zavilchansky, Ledovsky, Migunsky stone full of holes Kapteransky, dammed stones Balkovsky. Nature sanctuaries of the local importance. Mountains Buldovshina, Bay, Gorovaka. Zapersky government. Hills, Borodino and Chernetsky. Boulders Zybalishsky, Kamysky, Trapskovitsky, Chashkavchinsky. Stone Kaznadyushi. In the territory of the city there are 6 big reservoirs. 2 ponds. Southern and northern on the Myadalki River. Lakes the Black and Round. Park. And biggest lake Sadevsko, which is connected by the small river the Maiden to the Lake Dumblia. It is for the first time mentioned in 1409 when the Grand Duke Lithuanian Vitovt Alexander the Donative diploma gave the right of eternal use of Braichu Zinovicha of the village and the Lake Postavy with vicinities in the following borders. A pine forest Spygalsky and Luchesky, the rivers the Black Stream, Azarovich and Sudvich, the Gubsky Wood, the bridge on the Luchak River, Diamonds Retsy's pine forest, the rivers the Flat Stream and Myadalitsa. In 1522 the manor in Postav was divided between 4 brothers into 4 parts. Nikolay, Mikhail, Yuri. Hedgehogs. In January Despotsanovichimi. The classical feudal dissociation of patrimonial lands begins with this period. Various parts changed, on sale, passed into inheritance and as a dowry. In 1556 January Hershanovich got from Eziga Mikhailovich Senovich the 4th part of Postav for the 900th the cop of the Lithuanian pennies. Hedgehog Senovich left 1 part of Postav to the mother from the house Zenovichi, the 2nd part to Stanislav Zenovich. In 1567, after the death of January Hershanovich and his wife, 3 parts of Postav. 1 on Veknosny possession and 2 in pledge. Passed to their daughter. In 1568 their daughter transfers Postava to the husband and keeps the 4th part. Tolotsky Yuri Nikolaevich Zenovich. About 1510-1583. According to of Army of the Lithuanian 1567, exposed to Popist horses and from the part of a manor in Postav. Kashtallion of the Earth Polotsk. Month of an October of the 8th day. Yurgi Zinovievich, Lands Polotsk, Derzovitz Lipelski, Chichersky and Propoysky, didn't show mail of the, sent to Aliatu Sir Hetman the Register, mail of guilty washes Okazvuchevy Yakovelu put, that is, Imani with Kirshen to lands of Zhemoitskaya of horses 15. And Smorgon in the county Oshmensky horses 15. Both with Postavy and with Polovy of horses 6. And with Kostenovich in the county Mensky horses 2. And Belitsa in the county Orshansky horses. And Prusovich in the county Mensky a horse 1. A bag of that everything mail, his favor guilty, horses 40 of this brown, he enter the avenue. Rogut. And at is the ipovedit his favor to a pogutav of a mayucha of fractions 20 kotra. In 1581 through Postavida passed the army of the King Stefan Batory to Polotsk during the Livonian War with Ivan the Terrible's troops. In 1591 Yarosh Bigansky presented to the son Stanislav a Falvarok of Dolja with 5 citizens and 10 petty bourgeoises in the town of Postavy. 1616 in Postav on the island. Ancient settlement. Is constructed by Stanislav Bigansky the Catholic Temple of Blameless Conception of Virgin Mary and the Monastery of Franciscans. The following villages belong to the part of Postav belonging Bigansky. Kosteny, Sivtse, Shanks, Poluiki. Later in Postav Bigansky yard was built. In 1620 the Kavensky steward Achi January Yurevich Senovich gets all parts of Postav from the brothers for the 5,360 kop of the Lithuanian pennies. Besides, redeems parts of Postav from Koyski and Harshanovich. 1628 the town consisted of the central part with the market square and 2 posets. Contained 66 yards. From the area 2 streets dispersed. One conducted to the estate, and the second on which the Nikolaev church was located conducted in the suburb Zariki. In 1637 the son of the Kavensky steward Eshi Zenovich presented Postava to Anna Sofia from Zenovichi, the ex-wife of Albrecht Wedesau Radziwill. During a campaign of imperial troops on Vilna in 1655 Vasily Petrovich Shermatovsky took and burned the town of Postavy. In 1686 Postava, the island, Sidorova received in the possession Apollonia Beginskaya. To the middle of the 18th century represented the small settlement located on coast of 2 lakes formed by the Maidalkaya River. The market square from which trade roads on Maidal and Druyu began was the downtown traditionally. On her east side there was a wooden Roman Catholic temple. 16th-18th century. And Greco-Catholic Church. 1713. On other coast of the lake there was a wooden Franciscan monastery. These constructions didn't remain. They were replaced with stone samples in the beginning of the 20th century. In 1720 Postava swords Tyson-Gozanov took over. Considerable transformations of the city were carried out by the Grodno head Anthony Tyson-Gaz, the reformer, the culture seeking to turn the entail property into one of the centers and the industry of edge. Manufactory production. Only 35 enterprises was organized. Over time the town was reversed and received close to rectangular structure of streets. The Italian architect Giuseppe Joseph of Di Sacco, who since 1773 lived in Grodno and was a court architect of a Tysengaz, is considered the author of the project of replanning. The Voivode of Mstislavskia, 1788-1795. And the Minsk provincial leader, 1795-1797. Francis Savory Hominci was married to Sofia Tysengaz, Kazimir Tysengaz and Barbara Uditskaya's daughter. Thanks to Merita received the city of Postavy, which elected the residents in possession. Their marriage was childless. After the second section of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, 1793, of Postavy were a part of the Russian Empire, where became the center of the county. On January 22, 1796, the city was granted the coat of arms. At Konstantin Tysengaz, the city turned into one of the scientific and cultural centers of the Volensky province of northwest region of the Russian Empire. The Ornithological Museum, Art Gallery, Library were founded. In 1861, the manor in Postav of the Desnensky county belonged to the Count Tiesenhausen. In a manor there were 41 12-male serf souls. The monetary quitrent was paid from each yard depending on the number of the earth. Natural duties were carried out the following: for chetverk of a rye, quarter of oats, 1 goose, 2 chickens, 10 eggs, 1 talc, cup of mushrooms, quarter of limy stones, fish network 2 sazens, card in turn. Pregona 156 days from the yard for serf souls, men's and female, were left. Skona was for 7 days for working souls, men's and female. Since 1899 in Postavy's manor of the Count Szczecki, the Postovsky School of Parforsny hunting worked. In the years of World War I, the city of Postavy was on the front line. The pilot Stabs Captain Piatisin Evgeny Stepanovich, the native of the Kiev province, was awarded with the street torch's weapon, for the fact that, having received a task to photograph an enemy position around Komi, Postava, Podotishki, he, in the period of time from March 5 to March 24, 1916, made a number of combat reconnaissances, and every time, despite firing of enemy artillery, carried out the task up to the end. On March 24 his device was brought down by artillery of the opponent and fell near our entrenchments, and the pilot got bruises of the face and leg. Despite extremely adverse conditions of weather and strong firing of the German artillery, he carried out the task given him in time, having submitted pictures of all 3 lines of entrenchments. Pafov. Since 1921 as a part of Poland, the center of the county of the Volensky Voivodeship. In the late 20s 2 sawing plants and also brickworks, a steam mill, beer factory, a bakery worked in the city. In 1935-1939 in post of the 23rd Regiment of the Grodno Uhlans was located. In 1938 in post of the Battalion of National Defense. On Postavy, which was a part of Semikru of Jisna, which headquarters also was in post of, was created. The Colonel Edward Perkovich, the resident of the Postovsky county, was a commander of Semikru. Konstantin Szczecki, Stockholm. Married and divorced with Sophie Maria Lyubomyrskaya, was the last owner of a manor in Postav. The plan in Polish of the town of Postavy is stored in the Central State Archive of Lithuania. On September 18, 1939, the city was occupied by parts of the Belarusian front of the Red Army and was a part of BES. In Postav, the 4th Rifle Corps case settled down. Since 1940, the center of the district of the Wileńskie region of the Belarusian Sur. On July 5, 1944, Postavy were exempted from the German troops by the 145th Rifle Division. Major General P.A. Dobrova. Since 1944, as a part of the Molodinensky region. Since 1960, as a part of the Vitebsk region, the administrative center of Postavsky district. Population 2018, 20000. On a census of 1959, 5311 Belarusians. 50.27%. 3341 Russians. 31.62%. 1195 Poles. 11. 31%. 370 Ukrainians, 128 Jews, 83 Tatars, 138 representatives of other nationalities lived in Postav. On a census of 2009, Belarusians. 85.8%. 1959 Russians. 9.91%. 371 Ukrainians. 1.88%. 300 Poles. 1.52%. 64 Gypsies. 0.32%. On 30 Lithuanians and Tatars lived in Postav. On 0.15%. In 2017 in Postav was born 229 and 260 people died. Birth rate coefficient minus 11.5 on 1,000 people. An average value on the area minus 10. 8. On the Vitebsk region minus 9.6, across Republic of Belarus minus 10. Mortality rate minus 13.1 on 1,000 people. An average value on the area minus 19.4, on the Vitebsk region minus 14.4, across Republic of Belarus minus 12. The Postavsky State College works in the city. In the city, the following enterprises function: radio electronic industry, shop, the plant bleaches, forestry and wood industry, Glow, Postavsky Forestry, Zest Postavy, and else production and furniture center, shop, Postavsky Furniture Center, Choid, Megastruterg, light and food industry, shop, plant of the cooperative industry of Postavsky Repo, bread baking complex, Zest Postavsky flax processing plant, Zest Postavsky dairy plant, meliorative and road building organizations, KWASP, Donny Postavsky, Postavsky True minus 132, Ewu minus 33, Postavsko PM's Unitary Enterprise. In the city there are 3 hotels, the Postavsky Museum of Local Law functions, the Festival of Folk Music, Syniat Symbols is held. Massachusetts media are presented by the Postavy Krai newspaper and television of Postavy TV. The railway station on the Królewszczyzna line Lintypi. Through the city there pass highways P. Braslav, Mydel, and P. Deep Lintypi. Site of Mr. Postavy of Branch, Motor Transportation Enterprise No. of 16G. Deep, Jest Vitablaftatrans. Serves 30 routes, 6 of them in Postav. 3 city routes work in the city. Sites: the Tyzenguza Palace, 1788, the first A floor. 19th century. Nowadays the building of District Clinic. Building of Lenin Square. The 18th-19th centuries. Including House of the Doctor. The second floor. 18th century. House of the Handicraftsman. The second floor. 18th century. Houses. The second floor. 18th century. Catholic Church of St. Anthony Paduan. 1898-1904. Orthodox Church of St. Nicholas. 1894. Synagogue and Jewish Cemetery. Beginning of the 20th century. Water Mill. The second floor. 19th century. Museum of Local Lore. Earlier hotel. Memorial stele to the Polish soldiers and officers who were killed in battles with Bolsheviks in 1920. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.